Hi, welcome to day 30 of me telling the craziest story of the things that have been happening to me, my friends, and my family. Like insane supernatural things have been happening ever since I learned how to unlock DMT, which is the most powerful psychedelic on the planet, or at least that's what it is until you figure out how to unlock it. It completely shifts how you connect the consciousness. This has been happening for 8 months for some of us. It is wild, completely different. I've never heard of anything like this, and it's happening to more and more people now because I'm teaching people how to do this. The beings we're dealing with are not DMT entities like you would traditionally hear about. These are more NHI, non-human intelligence. We've been going through a deep dive of DMT recently. As I'm doing this, I'm going on a 40-day water-only fast. I'm down now 40.2 pounds. I lost enough weight now to get rid of that double chin action that I had, so now you get to see me without a beard. But I'm not doing it for weight loss. I'm doing this so you'll take me seriously. Basically what I'm saying is I've lost 40 pounds as I've told this story, in hopes that will be dramatic enough that you'll listen to what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is insane. What is happening to us is insane, but it is significant. I want you to take it seriously because this is no bullshit. This is real. We will happily submit to any polygraph, anything like that. And this is not an abuse thing. This is not anything like that. What I'm telling you is legit, and it's very important, and it's one of the craziest things. If UFOs weren't real, we're finding out if those weren't real, then this would be the craziest thing I've ever heard of. But that's going to take over that moniker for sure. But anyway, so I'm touching base today. It's not about DMT, but actually just about a research update. A recent research update of something we recently talked about that I found fascinating. So these beings have been showing us stuff of what's currently going on, but it's also been showing us, or they have also been showing us the stuff in the past, and it has been kind of showing us some things that we've misunderstood as a civilization that is very important. For whatever reason, I'm supposed to tell everybody about it. So we talked recently about the understanding that the ascended master concept is real. That these people like Jesus and Buddha and Krishna, they have attained a level of masterhood, whatever you want to call it, ascended. They ascend and they are special. But also that there was one that keeps coming through like an ascended master, which was Mary Magdalene, and we found out why, because it looks like the Rosicrucians had been hiding her the legitimate story. The legend is true that they had been hiding her information, that the Gospel of Philip and then the Gospel of Mary Magdalene were true. She had a role as an apostle. She was in love with Jesus, or they maybe had a lineage, but that she knew how to become an ascended master, and so did Jesus, and she learned it from Jesus. Is kind of where we left that off. When I dig deeper into Rosicrucian doctrine and texts, I've wondered this whole time, because I could easily picture how God fits into this, how these ascended masters fit into it, but I didn't get any real understanding of how Jesus really fit into it. And so over this fast, it has been showing me that. And so they have a book called The Mystic Life of Jesus. And in that book, they have the missing information of Jesus' life, his birth, more details of his birth, it's beautiful, his childhood, like the missing, they have all the documents, and they have been holding them for a long time, and they actually try to give this information out, like a portion of it. There's still stuff that they know that they are keeping hidden. You have to be worthy to be able to understand that, or to be able to receive that. But the story of Jesus, and there's a group called the Essenes, and they've also been protecting their history as well. This was a mystical sect of that time frame, the time frame of Jesus, and Joseph and Mary were a part of this group. And it goes into how Mary was actually, wasn't just a happenstance. She's walking down the road, and then an angel tells her that she's going to bear God's child. This was structured. This was mystical, what you would consider ritualistic. But I read almost the whole book as soon as I got it. Like, I'm almost done with it. But I can't stop. Like, it is just nonstop bombshells. If you know what I know and the things that have been happening, and I start reading through this, I just could not put it down. I sat and read it for 7 hours yesterday. It is fascinating, but it makes so much more sense. It also makes sense. They've been recording all of that. They have the records, and it keeps talking about the Rosicrucian records. The Rosicrucian records say this, or give this account of this, or here's a letter from Jesus to his mother that they have that I've never heard of. And there's more. But the Essenes and Jesus, was hidden information. They decided to publish this book in the late 1920s, and nobody really paid attention to it. And there's weird synchronicities as I'm reading it too. Like, my father-in-law got me there's just weird stuff like this all the time. Like, got me this book of Josephus, which is, he's the first historian to ever mention Jesus. He gave it to me for Christmas because he knew I had been researching a bunch of ancient texts. But like, I'm sitting there talking to somebody about this book, and they're talking about Josephus in this other book that I was just reading. And I was talking about the correlation. And I opened this book, and I'm talking about how that exact story, Josephus was the first person to write about Jesus. And I've never opened this book. I just got it for Christmas. This book is enormous. It's we're going to call it 1,200 pages. But the first page I opened it to, as I'm on the phone talking about this, was this Josephus on Jesus. It's just 2 pages. It's stuff like that all the time. It is synchronicities after synchronicities after synchronicities. But I'm telling you, the Rosicrucians have had this figured out, and they've known this for a long time. They've had these records, and if you join them, you can learn how to do this stuff without DMT or all that. This is knowledge that they've known for a long time, and they protected it for the right people to find it. And it's not something they put out there like, hey, we have this information, do you want to hear it? It's a mystery school because you show up not really knowing what you're going to learn. It's a mystery. It's kind of like divinely inspired. But I figured out that they know the truth without them. I figured out what the truth was, and then figured out that they knew it. And the more that I dig into it, the more that I know that they know, and the more I know that I'm right. And that changes all of Christianity. All of it. Jesus, he even says in the book that Jesus was an ascended master. He talks about Krishna. He talks about Buddha. He talks about these other Oriental. He refers to them as Oriental. That is a time thing. This is from the 1920s. I apologize for saying that. That's the way they refer to it in there. But he goes into all of that, the ascended masters, and he talks about how Jesus was the greatest one. And it goes into all of this. And it talks about Jesus attaining Christ, like the Christ consciousness. But the story of it is in the Great Pyramid under a ritual. And it is fascinating. I've never read a book more fascinating, especially with dealing with what I've been dealing with. And it may be boring to some people. I don't know. And I may just be weird for finding this fascinating. But like I'm telling you, we've got how Jesus fits into this, and we've got how Mary fits into this, and their biblical history is not accurate. The true stories have been hidden. He keeps saying in this book, the approved Christian doctrine. I'm trying to dig into what that means. But keep following. I'll tell you some more cool stuff tomorrow. Talk to you then. Thanks.